Hey guys, Chris here. Today I'll be sharing with you the unboxing and the review of the Molekule Air Purifier. I decided to do a full 6-month test before posting about it so I could provide a true account of the quality of the device. Stay tuned for my review. Today I'll be sharing with you my thoughts and experience with the Molekule Air Purifier. I want to start by saying that this is not a sponsored video and is actually something I purchased on my own as someone who suffers from allergies here in the state of Texas, which this year have been crazy out of control. I'll start by sharing with you the unboxing from 6 months ago, and then I'll talk about the product and how it has operated over the past several months. The Molekule Air Purifier comes in a simple, plain yet good sized box and retails for about $799. This price does include your first 6 months filter refill pack for free, which generally costs about $65 every 6 months. If you watch this video and decide you want to purchase one for yourself, I'll leave a link in the summary section below that will give you an additional $75 off your unit order. This is a fairly premium product and pretty durable, so I think the price is fair. If it is too much at once, they do offer you the ability to purchase the device in installments of 6, 12, or 18 months with no interest. That said, the Molekule Air Purifier might not be for everybody, and I don't think it's a device that needs to be in everyone's household. I'll get into that a little bit later, but for now let's talk a little bit about what it does and why I bought this device. Put simply, Molekule is an air purifier that can break down pollutants and airborne allergens at a molecular level. It has a dual filter system made up of a pre-filter that traps larger particles such as dust and pet hair, and a PECO filter, which stands for photoelectrochemical oxidation, which is coated with nanoparticles, which when exposed to ultraviolet light begins to break down anything that passes through it. For reference, most air purifiers are using HEPA filters, which can catch anything that's 0.3 microns or larger, which does trap about 99% of the things that are in the air. The good thing about Molekule's PECO filter is that it can catch pollutants as small as 0.1 microns in size, which means that it doesn't only trap, but eliminates airborne chemicals, bacteria, viruses, and allergens. To make sure your Molekule is always operating at tip-top performance, it's recommended that you replace the PECO filter every 6 months and the pre-filter every 3 months. That's where the additional ongoing maintenance cost comes in. You can enroll for auto refills to be sent to you every 6 months for $65 per package every 6 months, which isn't too bad, and your first 3 to 6 month refill is free. Their promise is to eliminate indoor air pollution in the home and to ensure that the device is continuously delivering clean air for you to breathe. Inside the box, you'll first find a welcome kit, which includes a simple quick start guide that talks about the device, its components, and a basic overview of the functions and features of the Molekule. There's also instructions for setting up the app, however it's not needed in order to operate the device. Moving on, you'll also get a heavy-duty detachable power cord, which is long enough so you can plug the device in virtually anywhere. The cord itself is proprietary and has a flat end with a vertical connector, so it can plug directly into the bottom of the Molekule, allowing it to stand upright. You'll also find in the package your pre-filter, which as mentioned previously should be replaced every 3 months. I ended up using mine for the entire 6 months until the first free replacement arrived. I'm just cheap that way. The filter is pretty tightly packed, so it can catch a good amount of airborne dust particles and hair, and is clearly labeled so you know which way to install it when you put it in the device. On to the main unit. The Molekule itself is packaged very tightly and held in place by a good number of cardboard cutout pieces that are machine cut and secured together to keep the device from moving around during shipping. In addition to this, the Molekule itself comes in a sturdy cotton drawstring bag to protect it from dust and scratches. The unit is quite heavy, so I'd recommend using both hands to pull it out of the box or laying the box on its side and pulling out the device that way. Again, the bag is pretty durable and of good quality. If you aren't storing the Molekule, you can reuse it or repurpose the bag as a laundry bag, a travel bag, or anything else you might want to use it for. Attached to the device is a high quality leather handle that will allow you to more easily transport the molecule from one place to another. The device has a clean, modern, contemporary cylinder design, allowing air to flow into the device through the bottom into the pre-filter, then through the PECO filter, leaving only fresh and clean air to come out through the top. What I like about the Molekule is that it's made mostly of aluminum and plastic and feels like a very solid product. It doesn't feel cheap at all, unlike other air purifiers I've bought in the past. The device has 3 different settings: silent, auto, and boost, which you can manually set it to using the circular touchscreen on the top of the unit itself or through the app. I typically just leave it on auto so the Molekule can adjust to the air quality as it sees fit. The noise that the device emits, as you will see later in this video, is hardly noticeable, with the exception of when it's set to boost, which still isn't that bad. On first use, you may notice a weird metallic odor in the air, which is also mentioned in the quick start guide as something to expect as it starts to clean the air. I just call it the new gadget smell. After a few hours, the smell goes away and the air is replaced by a more fresh scent. It's hard to explain, but I found it a lot easier to breathe and I had less allergies during the cedar season, which is something that hits me like a ton of bricks here in Texas. Optionally, you can install the Molekule app on your smartphone, which will allow you to monitor and control the device remotely. Using the app, you can learn about all the airborne pollutants in the air and some of the problems that they can cause while you're doing the installation. Once the app is installed, you will need to connect both the Molekule and the app to your home Wi-Fi to complete the setup. You can do this on multiple smartphones and or tablets, and the app can control many Molekule units at once. You can use the app to control different Molekule units and also monitor when your filters need to be replaced. You can also subscribe or unsubscribe from getting auto refills. Aside from that, I find the app to be fairly useless and prefer to control and change settings on the Molekule itself. There are times that the app couldn't even connect or detect the device, and I'd say the only real benefit of the app is the ability to set a schedule for the Molekule. But then again, not even that, since I just leave the device on auto all the time anyways. When connected, the app lets you know when the pre-filter and PECO filter need to be replaced. However, I don't think it's a smart device that checks the quality of the filter and how much of the filter is used, and is more of a time-based tracking of when it needs to be replaced, since you need to let the app know as soon as you have replaced the filter, which automatically resets the clock. I guess for peace of mind though, it's nice to know that you have an app that you can control at least basic functions remotely whenever you need to, but for the most part, I never use the app. Again, using the Molekule over the last few months, the air does feel cleaner, which I know doesn't really mean anything in the absence of proof in the form of air quality tests, which are always being disputed by different manufacturers. You'll just have to take mine and many others' words for it. And results may differ from person to person, and you know, well, to each their own. I mentioned previously the sound that the device emits. As you can see, it's not very bad. And this is up close. From a distance, the noise is hardly audible, which means while you're sleeping, you'll hardly hear a thing. And the ultraviolet blue light that the device emits is a pretty cool effect. Not to mention the peace of mind it gives knowing that the device is working as it should to clean your air. Once you hit the 6-month mark, it's probably smart to start thinking about replacing the filters in the Molekule to make sure that you're always getting the best air quality possible. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty bad at remembering maintenance responsibilities like that, which is why I am glad I signed up for the auto replacement filters to be sent to me every 6 months, reminding me to do it. Replacing the filter is easy. With a slight press and turn of the upper panel, the shell itself should release and slide up, unlocking the PECO filter, allowing you to lift it right up and out of the chassis. Simple as that. The original PECO filter is also made of high quality materials and is housed in an aluminum and plastic enclosure. It should be replaced every 6 months. At the bottom of the Molekule device, the pre-filter tray should also now be exposed and is also easy to remove by using the finger hole to slide out the filter tray. The pre-filter should be replaced every 3 months. However, like I mentioned before, I waited the entire 6 months until I got my first replacement filters in the mail. The replacement filter showed up on my door exactly 6 months from when I ordered the Molekule, in packaging similar to that of the Molekule itself. Nothing fancy about the package, however it comes with 2 pre-filters and 1 PECO filter, with the expectation that you will replace the pre-filters every 3 months and the PECO filter every 6 months, and continue to do this as needed. The replacement filters come in a sealed, dust and pollutant-free bag, and upon first glance I noticed a difference between the replacement PECO filter and my original filter that came with the Molekule itself. The pre-filters, however, looked very much the same as the originals. To replace the pre-filter, you simply have to remove and replace the filter in its tray and slide the tray back into the device. For the PECO filter, you need to pull off the top plastic cylinder and reattach it to the replacement PECO filter by applying a little pressure. What I did notice, and I'm not too sure if I'm pleased or upset about this, is that the replacement PECO filter was made entirely out of plastic. Whereas if you look at it, the original was made of an aluminum housing with an aluminum honeycomb frame. The replacement had none of this and was made of a plastic housing with bits of aluminum or foil in the filter folds themselves. I'm not sure if this was due to an improvement in design or if it was a cost-cutting measure. I assume the latter, however, I could be wrong. When you're paying $65 for a 3-pack of replacement filters, which is a lot, especially for filters, you would assume that you're going to get the same quality that you got with the original filters that came with the unit. I will say though, to date, I haven't noticed much of a difference in performance or air quality, so that's a good thing. Once the filters are replaced, all you have to do is push the system back. Once the filters are replaced, all you need to do is push and slide the chassis back down, twist the top panel until it locks, and power the unit back on. And that's it. To ensure proper tracking, at least from a timing perspective, make sure you go into the app and reset the filter statuses so you know when 3 and 6 months comes along, so the app can let you know when you need to replace the filters again. My final verdict. This tech does come at a premium price tag of $799, which may not be for everyone. And it also carries with it an optional $65 subscription every 6 months for replacement filters. However, if you suffer from severe allergies like I do, then I would highly recommend this. If not, you might be better off purchasing something cheaper at your local electronics store. The device does a great job blending into the environment with its clean and contemporary design, and virtually makes no noise at all. With that in mind, I'm happy with the Molekule and will probably be buying a couple more for the rest of the house. If you plan on buying one too, then you can use my link in the description below to get an additional $75 off your purchase. As usual, thank you for the support and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like the video and subscribe. Be sure to also hit the bell button to get notified when I post new content. See you next time.